The future is in your hands, so take care of it. That's more like it. The vendor says you can... The doors here are always... Seemed fair. The heavy stuff won't come down for a while yet. Says this is... Finish 'em. The night's your chance to be sneaky. And so the tribe's quest for a new world continues. Tonight's ashes will become tomorrow's wood. Your job here is done. You have time to talk until you've given new orders. Wonder what's all the way out there at the edge of the surf. Says that with the world ending, it's hard to know how much time you have left. They used to use gadgets to tell time, but they mostly needed power. There's an amazing sundial around here, if you want to know what time it really is. Seems to not be sure, but figures it has to be outside, or at least some place the sun can hit it. Thinks the sundial can't be too far, just got to look. It's probably out in the open, where the sun can get to it, or at least it was when it was built. You shouldn't try it at night. No sun to dial then. Says you'll be taken care of in good time. Says the Tree of Life is going so fast. You need to do anything you can to save it. Their friend is trying to get the shell horn working, but they can't figure it out. Could you maybe help them puzzle it out? Claims it makes noise when it's not broken. Maybe it calls something. Only one way to find out. Says it would be great if you could hear the shell horn, but it's not working. Which is the problem route? Find their friend for the straight notes. Otherwise the shell shall horn no more. Supposes the only way to know is to fix it. Find us a sunset to ride into. That's Fruggo's joint. Tread carefully. You can't really understand your story till it's done. You could rifle through that. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you only follow your own personal code and is worried you've lost your respect for life. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your Seems happy but surprised you chose to turn this disaster into a blessing.
Where's that dark now?
Too true. No one can escape the dark.
No, but you can fight it. Fight it!
Can't fight love.
Watch me.
Seems like the tree of life dying is taking everything down with it. They have a friend having troubles with the bellows. They're just not working like they should. Could find that windy pal and help them out. Heard they're broken but doesn't know how. Guesses you'll figure it out. Says you can probably find their friend wandering somewhere near the bellows. The blow pal can give you more details about the bellows. They hope. Without the bellows, the folk round here will suffer. Hope you can help fast. Figures their friend isn't just blowing hot air and would be able to solve the situation with a bit of help. Offers you extra. See what they might want to offer. New toys to play with. A deal to be proud of. You might want to poke around in that old home. The world is awake. That's a Terra Globus from the back in time. You need to swivel the globus's bearings to get the atlas mapper to work. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You need to swivel the globus's bearings. All the health. The water is so colourful. Sometimes what you'll see doesn't feel real until it brings you back to that particular moment, like stepping into a time machine. It's hard to shake these memories and their accompanying feelings. Our brains play tricks on us, so it will take effort to avoid them. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders. It's poetic. Someone could probably make good use of that plastic scrap over there. This is a radioactive zone. It's not healthy to go too far in without protection. Check out that ping dish. Good as a landmark, if nothing else. Nice. Metal scrap. You can always use that. Half dead. Radiant. Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play it. The inputters need to be linked to boot the mind monitor. Just a few moves left. Make them count. It's mind over matter, software over hardware. Success is peace of mind. To get the ping dish to work, you need to line up the pong paddles for a proper match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's a match. Now you can ping all the dishes you like. Spin that paddle to turn the ping dish properly. No pings there, only pongs. Pingety ping ping, you found a transmessage. This place is S-Smart, home of a notorious thingamajig broker. Let's see.
Wait a little.
Claims to have strange...
我怎么一般？
Your fingers are starting to wrinkle. Let's see. It's another old-world bric-brac. Here is Knack Hill, the patch that Pebble calls home.
Manapena.
Seems wowed that you made it all the way up here to wherever. He was just passing through. The fact that he's no longer passing is where the accident comes in. He's bowled over by how you managed to find him. Someone who could do that could go just about anywhere. He wonders if the stresses of the world are starting to crack you up. That's a lot to weigh on someone, even someone as tough as you. Wherever you're heading next, he hopes you keep strong and tough. You'll need it to get through all the horrors of the world that lie ahead, no matter which direction you go. Wants to know what you'd do if you made a mistake while trying to get someplace. Isn't sure he has friends anymore. Not up here, at least. Maybe you? Says he's not sure he's sad about the world ending. At least no one else will find him up here. Wonders why you helped ruin the world. In the end, what's the difference? Wonders what made you decide to work with the Jagni. The way they squawk around the place is so irritating. Thinks your ears must be broken. Let's talk about happier things. He says it's rare, but sometimes he gets caught between a rock and a hard place. There's no worse spot to be in, and this time is no exception. He's always felt insignificant, like a pebble to a mountain. That's why he's climbing now. He wants to feel on top of the lowlands for once. He realizes that one who doesn't climb can't fall either, so in a way, he guesses he's safe. Says he doesn't really know. The days all blend together when you're stuck in one place. Pebble's risking death by staying or leaving, so he won't stop trying until he's able to climb out of this dying world. He figures he just has to be more careful. Also, it would be better if he knew where to climb. He doesn't want to be a pebble in your shoe, but if you'd help find some better spots for him to climb, he'd be really grateful. Thinks that would only seem fair. He's not in a position to negotiate much, but he doesn't have much either. This is turning out to be quite an expedition. Smart foe would leave now. There are places up ahead far worse than this. It's a glorious shiny day out here. Right where it comes. Nasty. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you only follow your own personal code and is worried you've lost your respect for life. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your act. Seems happy but surprised you chose to turn this disaster into a blessing.
The shadows shadows are getting so small.
Hear that? Misses the dark.
No one misses the dark.
You do every time you come at me.
Well, there's always...
Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Looking for treasure. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Don't trip it, just keep moving. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He worries about you. If you love yourself, you don't hurt others. But the more you hate yourself, the more you want others to suffer. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. What do you think his are? He's the one that's called out of date, remember? Out of date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. He's worried that you're putting the world at risk. But darkness isn't necessarily the end of the world. It's just another perspective. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst. Something he calls the Ark. Two sides to everything, but for him it would be devastating if you were forced to use the Ark to escape while the world crumbled. Out of date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, even if you think no one else is worth saving if the world comes to an end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of date says he knows you're good-hearted enough to do your best to support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again.